Hi there, I'm Katrina and I'm the person behind randomcat.com, and in today's video I'm going to show you the most sustainable thing that you can do today. You don't need to buy fancy reusable water bottles. You also don't need to use reusable straws. And you also don't need to make your own deodorant to be more sustainable, but if you want to, I'll link here the recipe, so check it out if you are interested. You don't need to change your entire life to be more eco-friendly. But there is one thing that you can do that will make a lot of difference, is to buy secondhand. When you are buying secondhand, you are saving planet resources. And this is very important because we are producing too much and everything ends up in the landfill. And one thing that we can do is actually to promote a more circular economy, meaning that when someone else doesn't like their clothes, they will give it or sell them to someone else. So many times we have clothes that we no longer identify ourselves with, or maybe they just don't fit as they used to. So why should we not make the most out of those clothes? Because if you don't like something, maybe I will. So that's the beauty of buying secondhand. Something that you don't necessarily love, maybe I will love. And a good example is the cotton t-shirt. A cotton t-shirt takes about 2,700 liters of water to produce. That's a lot of water. To give you a good comparison, for a 10-minute shower, you can use up to 115 liters of water, depending on your shower head, but let's go with that number. So if you do the math, you'll have 30 days worth of showers for that amount of liters to make a single t-shirt. It's too much, and whatever we can save, it's good. And I'm not saying that right now you start to buy everything secondhand. I know that's pretty difficult and you need to be very invested at that. So consider doing that first and foremost before buying new. So if you don't find what you want secondhand, buy it new. But always use that first. It's one of the easiest ways to become more sustainable, and it comes with a lot of benefits. One of them is that it's cheaper to buy secondhand. Let me show you these two books. These two books cost 4 euros. Yes, these two books. And if you look at them, they are in a very nice condition. They are almost new. And this cost me 4 euros. 4 euros doesn't even cover the price of one single book. It's cheaper to buy secondhand. And honestly, you can still find pretty good stuff. Buying secondhand doesn't mean that you don't buy things with quality. It just means that someone else owned it before. There's definitely a stigma in today's society about buying secondhand, and I'm seeing a lot of improvement on that area. But for some reason, people associate buying secondhand with muffy, moldy clothes or smelly clothes. It doesn't need to be like that at all. You can actually find pretty good stuff. This is one of the evidence. These books right here were also all bought secondhand. So yes, it's cheaper to buy secondhand. Another good thing about buying secondhand is that you have all different things in the same store. For example, clothes. You get to have a lot of different styles in the same store. For example, before I would buy I would go to a store and I would see something that I liked, but if I didn't, I would go to another store and then another store because there was nothing that would fit me, my style. But now there are lots of quirky and interesting pieces just right there in one store. Obviously, there are stores that you will like more than others, but what I like about buying secondhand is that I don't need to be restrained to a single store because honestly, I don't have a lot of patience. And before, I would go to one or two stores, and if I didn't find what I liked, I would give up or just buy something that I didn't love, but it was enough to get me by. So, yeah, that's me. And it's interesting to shop in secondhand stores because you never know what you're going to find. Sometimes you find a beautiful skirt, sometimes you find a denim jacket or a beautiful hand purse. You can get everything in one secondhand store. So yeah, secondhand stores are also about finding really interesting treasures. And connecting to the first point is that I was not able to afford some of the most interesting things that I saw in regular stores because they were too expensive. Now, when buying secondhand, I'm actually able to do that. I find these interesting pieces and I'm not thinking that I can't afford them because they are so much cheaper and I'm able to have a style that I'm proud of and not thinking that that money needs to be used for something else or needs to be used for me to eat. So yeah. And yes, buying secondhand is one of the easiest and most powerful sustainable things that you can do. So you are going to ask me, is it enough? It is, if that's the only thing that you can do. For some reason, we are always talking about being perfect. It's not about that. It doesn't matter if you change your entire life for 1 month to be more sustainable and then realize after that 1 month that, well, it's never going to happen. I'm not going to be more sustainable, so I might as well resort to my same old buying habits. The key here is to also find something that is sustainable for you and for your lifestyle. It doesn't matter that you cannot do everything. Doesn't matter. You do what you can. Buying secondhand is easier because you don't need to spend more money, hence you are saving money. That's why I'm telling you to buy secondhand, because buying secondhand means that you will actually save money while being more sustainable, and you don't need to buy from sustainable brands to be more sustainable. You can buy secondhand, so that shaves a bit of your budget and is more sustainable, so great things. And yes, if that's the only thing that you can do, and even if it's not for everything, because let me tell you, you don't need to buy everything secondhand. My idea here is to show you that you can actually change your default. Your default now is to go to regular stores. But now, instead of going to regular stores first, you go to secondhand stores. And then if you don't find it what you need, or don't find it in Facebook Marketplace or any other platform that sells used items online, then you go to regular stores. It's just a shift. It doesn't need to be a big thing, and if you are not comfortable in buying some things secondhand, buy others. So if it's the first time that you are buying secondhand, maybe buy books instead of clothes. You make the rules. And I'm not the person to tell you that if you're not buying secondhand, then you are not sustainable. That's not... Sustainable isn't about perfection, and I think it's really important for me to say that. As someone who tries to reduce their waste, I still buy a lot of things new, and I'm not always happy with that, but I accept it. And if the only thing that you can do for years is to buy secondhand, that's okay. It's enough. Don't think that you are not enough and you are not doing enough. You are doing what you can for your lifestyle, and maybe this will encourage other changes. And everything is a part of an evolution. So maybe this year you focus on buying secondhand, and maybe next year you start composting, or maybe just 10 years from now you start composting. It's okay, and don't feel bad about not doing every single step, every single thing that people are talking about online, because it's not always possible, and you do what you can, and it's okay. I cannot stress this enough, it's okay. And hopefully this inspires you to not feel overwhelmed and make a single change to be more sustainable and improve the planet. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you do right now to become more sustainable, and I will see you in the next week. Bye. I'll link it here to check out the recipe. Buying secondhand is where to live. Buying second